Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. Najee Harris, over the weekend, he gets into an accident with fireworks and hurts his eye. Let's jump into the article. Former Steelers running back Najee Harris injured in fireworks accident. Najee Harris was present at a 4th of July event where a fireworks mishap resulted in injuries to several attendees. Najee sustained a superficial eye injury during the incident, but is fully expected to be ready for the upcoming NFL season. Well, that's good to hear. I always like Najee Harris. I loved his positive attitude. I think a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans took his production for granted. Oh, he only rushed for 1,000 yards. Oh, only 1,000. He had 1,000 yards all 4 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He never missed a game. He played behind a poor offensive line. Didn't exactly have the greatest quarterback situation either, and still managed close to 5 yards a carry. But some way, Pittsburgh Steelers fans are never happy. Neither am I. Listen, I'm not trying to, I get it. We're never satisfied unless we're totally dominating and winning every single game. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say you're never satisfied. No, we're never satisfied. We're an angry group in a whole. And we're especially angry now that the Pittsburgh Steelers are not winning. So I totally understand your pain. But let's put these stats in perspective for Najee. During his 4 seasons with the Steelers, Harris rushed for over 1,000 yards in every season, totaling 4,312 yards and 28 touchdowns. The Steelers declined his 5th-year option last season, making him a free agent this offseason. His 1-year deal with the Chargers is worth up to $9.25 million. He was originally the 24th overall pick by the Steelers in the 2021 NFL Draft after his college career at Alabama. Now, let me ask you guys something. Let me ask you a question. Have you noticed a trend with the Pittsburgh Steelers when they have players that produce? It's almost like they don't care or take care of the guy. I don't want to hear that Najee Harris was not productive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I did a video on this and I compared their stats side by side. And guess what? And you're not going to like this, and I don't care. Najee Harris had better stats than Jerome Bettis. And I already know what you're going to say. I did it by the amount of carries. Okay. When you compared the amount of carries, when Najee got to his 300 carry and what Jerome had on his 300 carry, Najee Harris is a better running back than Jerome Bettis. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. The stats don't lie. And here's another thing. Jerome Bettis, play with Big Ben, play with an all-pro Hall of Fame offensive line, super stud defense. He played on a real team. He was on a team. And who did Najee Harris have blocking for him? That's right. George Pickens, the same guy that walks off the field when you ask him to block. Jerome Bettis was on a legendary team. Najee Harris was not on a great. Najee Harris wasn't even on an average team, and he still put up that much production along with a great attitude. Let's all say a prayer for Najee Harris. I hope he gets better. I hope it's not that serious. And let's leave those fireworks alone. The NFL players should have all learned a lesson from Jason Pierre-Paul, the defensive end on the New York Giants. Fireworks can be dangerous. And you got to remember that your business is your body. So you got to stay away from certain things when you're an NFL player. I'm not passing judgment on Najee. I just want him to make smarter decisions, and I wish him the best and a speedy recovery. Calvin Austin III shares what Aaron Rodgers likes most about his game other than speed. I'm expecting huge things from Calvin Austin III this year when he has a real quarterback, a real gunslinger in Aaron Rodgers. And I think this is going to be the best year of Calvin Austin III's career. I really like him as a person and a player, and the dynamic, playmaking, explosive, ultra-fast ability that he has. Calvin Austin III goes on to say, the first time I met Aaron Rodgers, one of the first things he said was about my speed. Austin said, obviously that's my main thing. It's something that got me to the point I'm at today. But one of the other things he was talking about was me going over the middle to make those tough catches. That was something that I really worked on last year and wanted to show that I'm not just a straight down the field speed guy. Tough third downs across the middle. I'm the guy that can make those catches and show up in those big crucial moments. Austin said, that's where you can earn your stripes. That's where you can earn the respect of your quarterback, the team, the coaches, when you make those catches. Too bad George Pickens couldn't have this type of attitude, because if he did, he would have got the money that DK Metcalf did. But I'm here to talk about Calvin Austin III. And again, I predict that Calvin Austin III will have 8 touchdowns or more. He'll go for over 1,000 yards. And this is going to be the best year of Calvin Austin III's career. Not just because of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, obviously that helps that you have a real gunslinger playing quarterback. We had Russell Wilson last year who couldn't throw the ball more than 20 yards. But Calvin Austin III is really working to be a seasoned, crisp, route-running pro receiver in the NFL. And from all reports, he is only getting better by the day. And when you have somebody like Aaron Rodgers that can really throw that football, it's going to be a great season for Calvin Austin. Big Ben, he goes on to say he feels like the Steelers are losing a lot of culture guys. I couldn't agree more with Big Ben. Losing Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be a disaster for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year in the locker room and on the field. And when the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting beat by deep passes on the back end, I don't want to hear any Steelers fans complain. Let's see what Big Ben had to say. It feels like you're losing a lot of the Steelers culture guys that are in there that know what it is. And you're bringing in guys that are 1-year guys in here, maybe 2-year guys. Roethlisberger said on his football and podcast, they know about the Steelers logo, but they don't really know it. It's not branded in their chest. It's not Yellowstone in their chest. He also went on to say, I haven't been in a locker room for a few years now, so I don't know how things culturally change in that locker room in terms of what's the locker room thinking right now, Roethlisberger admitted after a long Steelers career. When you're losing a leader like Minkah Fitzpatrick, a guy that is just a worker and doesn't talk a lot, but works, he added, when I was there, if this would have happened, there would have been some upset dudes in that locker room. I'd assume it's still the same way. Well, I'm glad Ben came out to say it, because I feel the same exact way. And I don't hear a lot of, today's players, I don't know if they care as much about the team, the organization. They care about the money. They care about going on podcasts. All the players that are even playing right now, they got podcasts, haven't accomplished anything in their career. Now, you can do whatever you want in your off time. It's better than drinking in a bar. But here's the problem with that. I make videos, and I see how long the videos take to make and edit and God only all the other stuff that goes on. If you haven't accomplished anything yet in your NFL career, and you're not even a starter, but you're on the team, and I see you, and you're every day you're on a podcast making videos, it just makes me think, like, where are your priorities at? Because I know if I'm not playing, I'm pissed off. And I'd be in the film room for hours. I'd be in the weight room. I'd be doing everything I could to get better. And being on a podcast would be the last thing on my mind. But hey, today's players are different. It's all about me, I. And that's why I was so disappointed in the Pittsburgh Steelers for getting rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, because Minkah, for all the greatness that he's achieved, there's absolutely zero baggage. There's absolutely zero ego. He shows up with his lunchbox every day. He keeps his mouth shut. He gives you everything he has. And that's a Steeler through and through. And of course, we let Minkah Fitzpatrick walk out of the building only to bring in another problem child in Jalen Ramsey. The Pittsburgh Steelers never learn. Going to kind of end it on a sad note. Former Steelers scout Tim Rooney dies. I just want to send my condolences to the Rooney family. I know this is tough. Former Pittsburgh Steelers scout and member of the Rooney family who worked for the organization, Tim Rooney, has died. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Ray Fittipaldo shared the news today, noting Rooney died after a short battle with cancer. Rooney's death comes on the same day as the Steelers franchise celebrates its 92nd birthday, officially founded on July 8th, 1933, for the then pricey sum of $2,500. One of Tim Rooney's greatest accomplishments as a scout, he put Jack Lambert on the Steelers' radar, saying, you need to draft this guy, he's for real. As outlined by Fittipaldo, Tim Rooney put Kent State linebacker Jack Lambert on head coach Chuck Noll's radar. Pittsburgh selected Lambert in the second round of the 74 draft. He became a 9-time Pro Bowl, 4-time All-Pro, and Hall of Fame linebacker who anchored the Steel Curtain, regarded as one of the most physical and intimidating players in NFL history. Lambert's number 58 jersey is unofficially retired by the team. And now I'm going to end it with that. I just want to send my condolences out to the Rooney family. Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.